Hi, I have a person in a foreign country that made a request for this video, and I appreciate them, and I've said that on my previous video of how much I appreciate international people actually even looking at the videos. And he requested that I give more of an explanation and a more of a clarification of the Mormon Heaven. Now, let me start off by indicating again, I was a Mormon for 50 years. I was in their church for that long. I resigned from their church. I wasn't excommunicated. I worked in the temple, and I've been in elders quorum presidencies, and I've been in stake presidency, and I have taught the elders quorum, and I have 14 kids, and I've never been in a church disciplinary court, etc. And I was active for 50 years. I resigned because of the doctrine and the policies and researching Joseph Smith and the early parts of the history of the Mormon Church. I didn't want my name on that anymore. So I resigned. Let me start off by saying I'm not afraid of hell. I'm really not, because I've been a Mormon for almost 50 years. So hell is going to be relief to me. He can run around with a pitchfork and punch me in the butt and throw fire at me. That's going to be a vacation compared to what I've been through in this cult. So let me be specific for those that are not familiar with the doctrine of the Mormon Church. The beginning doctrine is that we all existed before we came here, that we dwelt with our Father in heaven, which many times they will say is Elohim or Jesus's Father. And again, I'm not endorsing any of this. I'm just telling you what the Mormon Church policies, procedures, history says. So we all lived up there in heaven, and there was a great big meeting, and all of us showed up. I don't know if it's billions or millions. I guess they have a big microphone up there. And Elohim, the main God guy, he said to us and all the children there, I would like you to become like me. And we all said, yeah, we want to be like a God. He says, well, then give me a couple of ideas how we can get you to be as smart as I am. Well, Satan, the devil, Beelzebub, whatever you want to call him. The Mormon Church, they'll call him Satan or the devil. He raises his hand, he goes up to the front of the stage, and he says, hey, I got me an idea here. Why don't we send all of us down to the earth, and I'll force all of those people to be good, and when they die, they'll come back to you, O heavenly Elohim. And I think that's a good idea, and people were clapping and say, hey, he's good. Then the Jesus man stands up and he goes, whoa, wait, I got a better idea. I got a really cool idea. Why don't you let us all go down and we have our free agency? We can be mean, evil, wicked. We can have sex, and we can drink and smoke and take drugs. We can do anything. And then you send me down, and I'll go down and basically get crucified because I'm perfect. And you can trade me for all of these people, because they're not perfect, but I'll become their savior. I will be their open checkbook. I will advocate for them when they come back to you. And that way they all have their free agency. Well, God looked at both of these plans and goes, well, I kind of like the Jesus idea. I like torturing my older son, and I really like to let those kids live it up down there. And, of course, I can't take anything back into heaven that's not perfect, but let's make up a new idea that if I get a perfect Jesus back, that means I can take all of his crap brothers and sisters. It's called the atonement. So the Satan guy, he goes, this sucks. I wanted to bring everybody back. And Jesus says, well, I'm only going to bring back those that believe in me and are covered by the atonement, which who knows what that is, but it's some type of a philosophy that you can be mean, evil, and terrible, but if you believe in Jesus and he saves you, you're born again, then you can get back in on his coattails. There's the doctrine of the Mormon Church. Well, a third, according to the Mormon Church, a third of the hosts of heaven, and Genesis says this, basically go with Satan. Now, I don't know where they go. I don't know if they go rent a house somewhere. Some people say, the Mormons say they came to the earth. Some people say they're in the middle of the earth. Good Lord. Who knows where a third of the hosts of heaven went? Well, now the Mormons have a devil. And every time they make a mistake or they're tempted or they get an erection or they're horny, it's the devil. The devil gave me that erection. And I am being tested with that erection. Well, there's their doctrine. I'm sorry. I'm not making this crap up. They made it up. So the Mormons have this terrible, terrible devil. That everything that goes wrong is people smoke or drink or they have a baby out of wedlock or they take drugs. The devil made them do it. It reminds me, you're all too young. You don't know who Flip Wilson is, but he used to be a comic on TV, and he would always say, the devil made me do it. The devil made me do it. So that's the Mormon philosophy. As anything goes wrong in your life, you're being tested and tested and tested. For what? I don't know, because Jesus... His atonement is supposed to cover you, but the Mormons believe in works. They don't believe in grace. The most Christian religions believe in grace. You'll be saved under grace. The Mormons go, no, you work your ass off, and then when you've done everything a human can do more, and then maybe grace will pull you on in. Well, that's the Mormon doctrine. Now, that's where we came from. That's where we're going. And now let me tell you what's going to happen when we die, according to the Mormon Church, okay? They do believe in a resurrection. When and how, I don't know. They don't know. They do believe in the millennium. The Catholics believe in 1,000 years reign of Christ on the earth in a peaceful situation. I don't know. I don't see it. Could I be wrong? You bet your ass. I can always be wrong. But the Mormons think that everything is going to be fixed during the millennium. All of their crazy doctrine, things that don't make sense, sealing different families to different people and putting this child with this mother and breaking it up and then giving them another polygamous mother. The Mormons go, well, we don't understand why God commands all this, but he's going to fix it during the millennium. Well, let me tell you something. It's going to take a God 1,000 years to fix the craziness that the Mormon Church puts out. I'm sorry. It's going to take a God, maybe 2 or 3 gods. So, their philosophy is that Jesus and Satan were brothers. One was the good son, one was the bad son. There you go. And everything that goes wrong down here is Satan's fault, and you can blame Satan, and Jesus will bring you back to Heavenly Father. Well, now here's what the Mormons believe, and what is the nuttiest part of this entire plan of salvation, okay? When you die, polygamy is the way it is. On the other side of the veil, they say the veil, the other side of the world, in the next existence, polygamy is number one. So all the guys get to walk around with erections constantly. That's because you're going to be saved. You know, Jesus has brought you back into the upper degree of the celestial kingdom. So basically all you do is sit, eat, drink, and screw if you're a man. Whew! That's kind of sound like the 71 virgins to me and the Muslims. I go, well, how many do you get? You get more than 71? The Mormons go, yeah, you get as many as you want. I go, hey, sign me up. I'm in line. Sign me up. And I got thinking, isn't there something else to do in heaven other than screw? I like screwing, but maybe there's something else. Oh, I build worlds. I see. I glue planets together from things in outer space, and I put water on them so that when I'm screwing all of these women who may or may not want to be being screwed, they'll have children. And when you're a resurrected man and you're screwing a resurrected woman, you will have a spiritual child. And then you can get your own Jesus and your own devil, and you can send all your children down to an earth and torture them and starve them to death and subject them to every kind of test you want, and then you can smile that you're following in your father's footsteps. Now, let's take a look quickly. And what if you're a woman? I don't think being a woman is as fun in heaven. You're pregnant all the time. You're giving birth all the time. You're watching millions of kids all the time. I'm sorry, I didn't write that doctrine. I don't believe in that doctrine. I'm telling you what I was taught for 50 years in the Mormon Church. And if you go online and you look at the Doctrine and Covenants 132, the church believes in polygamy. They're just bullshitting you that they don't. There's polygamy all over Utah, in Bluffdale. I've been in their churches. I've been in their temple. I've been on 2 different kinds of polygamous groups down there. The Attorney General doesn't do shit. Doesn't do shit. in this state. And I've been married to more than one woman in the Mormon church. I'm married right now to 3. I'm married to 3 women. I'm a polygamist. I can't live with all 3. I can only live with one at a time. So if you're a woman and you're a Mormon woman, your life is going to suck. Give them your money, watch the kids down here, pay your tithing, work your ass off in the Relief Society, and then you can just be screwed the rest of your life, watch kids, and give birth. Now, ain't that a nice way to work into rest in peace? That sounds like a train wreck to me. That sounds like evil. It'd be better to go to the devil. At least you'd have a few parties there in hell, and you know most of your friends and family are going to be there. This is nut stuff. It's nuts. But if you're in a cult and you've been raised in that cult, you believe it. It makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world to you if you've been raised in a cult. If you haven't been raised in a cult, you sit back and go, what the hell? I'm going to be pregnant through the eternities? I've got 14 kids. I've seen most of them born. And as a man, I would have died. I would have died. And so if all of you Mormon women, who half of you watch my channel, are Mormons, I don't know why you're watching. You already believe in the Mormon church. You already have been brainwashed. You're having a happy life. You're not on drugs. You're not fat. You're just happy, happy, happy. Well, why are you watching this? I'm telling you, the rewards for men, the patriarchal rewards, is screw, baby, screw. You can do anything you want, and you can get them younger than 14. Joseph Smith could only get down to 14-year-olds, but you can get 12 and 11 and 10-year-olds in heaven. As many as you want, as much as you want. And they all wait on you hand and foot. But if you're a woman, you just lay down, spread your legs, and you constantly have sex, and you constantly give birth. Wake up, women. Wake up, girls, and go, wait a minute, I'm more than a baby machine. I'm a human being. I have desires, wishes, dreams, education, intelligence. I'm not just a screw machine. Get yourself a plastic doll. I'm not just a baby machine. Don't give that to me as heaven. If you want to believe it, I don't care. How does that affect me? I'm not a woman. I get all those young girls up there. Oh, I should have stayed in the Mormon church. Or maybe I'll convert to being a Muslim. 71 or 2 virgins, I don't know. Virgins don't know too much, but that's better than nothing, I guess. Come on. This is nut stuff. This is stuff that an average person, when they hear my video, they're going to say, I don't believe this guy. I don't think any major religion could think those things and teach those things. Well, get on the internet. Go do your own homework. I'm not trying to get people in the Mormon church or out. I'm just speaking the truth. What I was taught, what I was trained, 50 years, a half a century. This is not my first rodeo. I wasn't in the church 6 months and then got out and I was excommunicated because I was screwing everybody in town, and the Mormons will say, see, he couldn't live our standards and he is anti-Mormon. Anything that is not Mormon is always anti-Mormon. Truth is anti-Mormon. I am telling you what happened to me in 50 years, and if you're a woman and you want to get screwed constantly and have babies constantly, good Lord, call the missionaries. And if you're a man and you want to be able just to screw and screw and screw and you don't have any responsibility, call the missionaries. No wonder people join the Mormon church. They're desperate and they're stupid.